GOAT of all playwrights defines a fool as someone who knows the cost of everything, knows the value of none. And NEDA Chief Arsenio Balisaca knows fully well that the lost revenue from POGOs can be made up sooner or later elsewhere, while a tattered or tainted reputation is an inestimable loss that can never mend in time. Our Kenneth Paciente has more on today's latest presser in the palace featuring the DOLE and NEDA.
Amid the rising issues surrounding POGO or Philippine offshore gaming operators, several parties have called for its operations to be banned in the country. This stance is supported by NEDA Secretary Arsenio Balisacan. Despite the potential loss in revenue, Balisacan emphasized the Philippines can compensate for this loss through other means.
The least that we want is to have a reputation na nandito yung mga criminals, nandito yung things like that. So the social cost, because if you succeed in generating those jobs anyway, we will get much more than what we lost.
Recently, the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE stated that if POGO operations were to be halted, approximately 22,000 workers would lose their jobs. Even though the government has not yet made a decision, the DOLE is already taking steps to ensure support for these POGO workers.
In the meantime, we have already done profiling of those who will be affected just in case magkaroon talaga ng desisyon na isara yan. Kasi yung mga nawawala ng trabaho, hindi naman binibitawan ng Department of Labor and Employment with the programs na ini-implement niya. Tututok, una yung job facilitation. We, in partnership with the private sector, we have conducted job fairs. Nung nakaraang taon, mahigit na 2,000 jobs fair yung nagawa namin all throughout the country in partnership with the PESO, Public Employment Service Offices. Tutuloy din namin yung aming pagtingin doon sa upscaling ng mga maapektuhan ng mga manggagawa, retraining. And then the other component would always be, if they would like to have a livelihood project, we'll be willing to support them.
At present, the issue has not been discussed by the economic managers and the president. Nevertheless, the government is focused on strengthening the country's workforce. Balisacan and Laguesma assure that government is committed to increasing job opportunities in the country, as evidenced by the recent drop in underemployment and unemployment reported by the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA.
The total additional employment created by our economy was something like 605,000 workers added in the pool of employed people, and that is very encouraging, because if we look further, we zoom into the data, we find that the increase in employment came from jobs opened up in manufacturing, in industry, and in services.
The drop is really tremendous. 2.2 million April 2024 to May 2024, and that speaks a lot for us, the Department of Labor and Employment. It reflects that some of the efforts or the interventions being done by the Department of Labor and Employment through the collaboration and participation of the private sector ay medyo bearing fruit now, and this gives us encouragement.
The officials also stressed the government will not only focus on the quantity of jobs but also on their quality.
Our focus as economic managers is not so much on the employment per se, but the quality of jobs that we are now focusing on, and so we want to ensure that that quality of jobs would provide decent earnings for our workers, so that they can many of our poor people can graduate out of that poverty.
Meanwhile, NEDA assures the recently approved 35 pesos wage hike will neither adversely affect workers nor employers. This despite employers' concerns on their affordability to support the wage increase. Balisacan stated this adjustment will not change investors' perspectives towards the Philippines.
They're not really that constraining when it's come to the economy, no? For so long as those wage adjustments are not too high to discourage investments, those adjustments are welcome.
Recently, the Wage Board approved 35 pesos increase for minimum wage earners in the NCR. Kenneth Pasyente from the National TV Network for a new and better Philippines.